Hi guys, we are back in Painscreek and we are starting off in a fairly eerie spot here. So we finally made it into the sewers. If you missed the last episode, it was a really great one. We found a lot of different keys and new details about what happened to Sophia and what Scott knew. So yeah, there was just a lot of goodies in that one. And that episode led us down here. And so this is where we came into. This down here is kind of a dead end. There's a door down there, but it's locked. And I did peek around right before we ended last episode and found out that we can go that way. That way is locked. So I think we just start heading this way. And just to get our bearings here real quick. So last episode we did get a sewer map as well. And so if you look right in kind of like the center, a little bit to, if you look at the center and then go a little bit northwest, you'll see something that says Old Sewer Entrance. And it has kind of like those little dotted black lines. Well, that's where we are. So we're at that T right now where you're kind of seeing two red marks on each side. I'm assuming that's indicating the gates. And so it looks like we can't go through the gate that would lead to Maple Drive, but we can go the other way, which basically leads us to everything. So we're in good shape, I think. Let's just double check our flashlight is on and let's go. Can we crouch? Forget how to... After I haven't played for a while, I forget how to do some of these things. So I'm trying to figure out the purpose of the sewer. I feel like it was maybe... I don't know. Was it used for like shady business or, you know, what was going on here? Okay, so we are... It looks like if we go down in that little T that's right at the center of the map, that will lead us to the farmer's market. And then otherwise we can keep going. So let's just check it out. Let's see if we can even go down here. Open. That's locked. Okay. And that is also locked. Okay. Yes, I'm trying to, like, I'm curious what we're going to find down here. Is it going to be more keys? Is it going to be access to places that we haven't been able to get into before? Okay. So then, yeah, we're right in the center there again, where it basically goes up to the northeast or down to the southwest. So I think I'm gonna go... So we just came from here. I think I'm gonna keep going this way and then we'll backtrack. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I'm assuming we should be able to get in here, but I guess let's find out. Okay, so it's bolted from the other side. Okay, well that's a bummer. I guess we're gonna go the other way. Okay, but guys, once I get back over to that cross section, I'll bring you back in. Oh, right, we are back up here, so we're gonna head this way now. Let's see what we can find over here. Okay. Another door, which we cannot get into. Okay, so I wonder if that was the near postal service, which is why there's that X there, meaning there's nowhere we can go. And so now we should be getting to that T, which would either lead us to the residential houses or to the community hospital. Interesting. Okay, so that goes to the community hospital, and this goes to the houses. So let's see where this one leads us. I feel like when I'm in maze situations like this, I always tend to go to the left. Okay, let's see if this opens up. It does not. Okay. And then we have this door, which also does not open. Okay, so I guess we're going to the community hospital, which technically could get us also to Painscreek River. Interesting. Okay, so let's start by going this way. See if we can get through here. Gosh, I mean, this is our only option, so let's hope that this opens. Otherwise, this was kind of a bust. Or we're like completely missing something. So, ah, thank goodness. Okay. And let's just double check our map real quick. So yeah, this should literally go right to the hospital. And I'm wondering if you remember, there was if we went downstairs from the hospital lobby area, or like the main floor, there was an area that was basically locked off that we could not get to. So I'm wondering if this actually gets us to the basement of the hospital. Awesome, and we can get in. I'm assuming that's where we're gonna end up. And I'm really hoping we get... Oh gosh. Okay, so we're... The janitor's closet. I would have never guessed that the janitor's closet would lead to the sewer. Maybe that was the intention. I'm really hoping... So if you'll recall from one of the very first episodes, there was a note on Scott's cabin that said the tools, or he had brought the tools, I think, to the hospital. And so I'm really hoping we find some tools, because that will help us open up a bunch of different things. Ooh, the morgue. Yikes. Oh gosh. Please don't say we can open these. Okay, good. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Thank goodness. Oh, looks like we have some keys down there. Okay. I wonder if we'll actually find the autopsy report of Vivian. Let's pick this up. Okay, so 4/16/1997. I called Dorothy last week. She told me something interesting about Sophia. There was a puzzle that she received from Matthew when she first started working at the mansion, sort of a birthday gift for her. In that puzzle, Sophia was to visit both hers and Matthew's favorite locations in Paynes Creek. In each location lies a clue that Matthew had written on the wall of the building exterior. The clues, when put together, will point to her the location of her gift. I thought that was a neat idea. Oh, okay. So here's some more things that we can go check out. So Sophia's favorite places, Annie's Courtyard, Inn and Suites. Okay. And then the bridge over the stream by the gate entrance. And then also on the post office. So that's Sophia's favorite places. So those are places we could go check out. And then why would someone like the post office? And where can I find Matthew's favorite places? Ah, yeah, where could we find his favorite places? Okay, so those are 3 other places we can check out today if we have time. Otherwise, we might have to save it for a future episode. So 4/20/1997, I received an anonymous message this morning. It claimed that Scott wasn't Vivian's killer. Unfortunately, that's all I got. I've had my doubts whether Scott really killed Vivian. He sure had the motive, but upon reading all his diaries and looking through his investigation notes, I can't help but think that Scott didn't kill Vivian. On the contrary, he was trying to find out who killed Vivian, as well as what really happened to Andrew Reed and Dr. Johnson. I still don't know if this anonymous person is a man or a woman, but they've helped solidify my thoughts on Scott. I wonder if this is the investigator's journal. We'll have to check that. 4/29/1997. I received another message yesterday. It told me to look into Bernard, the mansion's butler. I can't help but feel that this person is trying to tell me something, but not exactly what. The message said I will find something in the house. So was it Bernard's house that had, like, the gun case that had been broken into? And it might have been Bernard's house, or I guess it could have been Andrew's house that had that blood-stained panel on the floor that we couldn't get into. Okay, so there's something at Bernard's house that we need to check out. And then today I received a key in the mail with the initials BH. Does it stand for Bernard's house? I feel like we already have his house key though, don't we? I've searched everywhere and read all of Bernard's diaries. Something just doesn't add up. Maybe it's just a hunch, or simply that I'm thinking too much. Oh, sorry, and this is from 4:30 now. But would he have really killed Vivian? I feel like we know that he was kind of like, I don't know if obsessed with Vivian is the right word, but he definitely had feelings for her. There's something else about his entries that just make me pause and wonder if he was indeed a murderer. I photographed all the pages. Okay. So I'm just going to pick this up again real quick because I think the name was at the top right. Yeah, Steve Moss. Okay. Then it looks like we have some keys. So here's the BH that he was talking about. But it could mean something else. And then it looks like we have another key here. Ooh, a briefcase key. Okay. I'll have to remember where we found a briefcase. Was it in Scott's hotel room? Or not Scott, Steve Moss, was that his name? The investigator? Yeah, Steve Moss. Didn't we also find his wallet in the car? Why does he have 2? Unless I was looking at something else. Okay. So let's go into our inventory real quick. So it looks like a room key with initials tagged to it, found in the hospital morgue. A room key. Yeah, because I feel like we already found Bernard's key to his house. We've been in his house. So what would this stand for? BH. I feel like that's a secret. A room key. Okay. And then a briefcase key. Yep. So this is where we came from. Let's go see if we can get into the storage. Yes, we can. Ooh, and I think I see a hammer. And this will help us, I think, get into a few things. Especially that blood-stained panel that we were talking about earlier. I just can't remember whose house that was at. I have it in my notes somewhere, so I'll have to go back and check. That was a good find. Just making sure I'm not missing anything else in here. Okay, let's keep going. I suppose I could have tried the lights, huh? Nope. Okay. Okay, and is this the door that was locked then? Yeah. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, it was. Okay. Okay, guys, so I was just kind of getting my bearings on what I wanted to do. So what I was thinking, based on some of the info that we received and then some of the notes we have from past episodes. So I was looking at the Painscreek map, and we are essentially at the community hospital right now. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is go check out some of those notes that Matthew potentially left for Sophia. So we know that one might be at the post office, another might be at the bridge by kind of like the entrance of town, and then the third one was at the hotel. And so then also while we're at the hotel, we'll go see if we can open the investigator's briefcase with the new key that we had. And then I think from there, we're gonna go check out Bernard's house and see if we can get that panel, that bloody panel, which I'm pretty sure was at his house, open. We also have that BH key, so his bedroom door was locked, so I'm wondering if that goes there, which I don't know why you have a key to your, a separate key to your bedroom, but who knows. And then finally, I might head back to the church because I keep thinking about that code that we found on this locket here. And knowing that Sophia and Matthew were pretty close, I'm gonna go check. There was a 4-digit code that we could put into his desk. And I'm curious if this is the code. So I think that will kind of conclude the episode. We're gonna check out a bunch of different things. And then everything else, depending on what we find, will be for next episode. So yeah, I think we have a lot to go do right now. So let's get started. So guys, I'm gonna get out of this hospital and down to the town center, and I will meet you over there. All right, guys, we're just getting up to the post office. So they weren't super descriptive. I think it literally just said post office. So let's see if we can find any scribbles around here. And then we actually don't even know Father Matthew's favorite spots yet. Oh, here we go. Stream. Okay. Found one. So I don't know if there'll be a code at all of her favorite places, but I think we'll check out the hotel. And I also just want to go see if there's anything up at the town entrance too. So maybe we'll go check that out first, and then we'll come back to the hotel. Okay, we're getting back up to the entrance, and gosh, I feel like we haven't been over here in a long time. So it said that gate, the bridge over the stream by the gate's entrance, which I'm assuming is this one. So let's just take a look. Oh, here we go. Stump. Oh, you know what? Okay. I think we probably found this. I think it's probably that that little box that we found in the stump over there that we couldn't get into. So he left her a gift there. We just haven't been able to get into it. Okay, but let's just keep finding these clues. Let's make sure, or let's go check if there's one in the hotel or near the hotel. I think it's on the outside probably. And then we'll go into the investigator's room again and open up his briefcase. Might be in the back. We could go check out there too, but I'm less concerned about this now that I feel pretty confident that we know the location. Okay, so let's go check the investigator's room. Okay, so I believe his room was, what, 201? Yeah. And if I'm remembering, it was right at the end here. Yeah, because it had the note. Okay. So let's open this guy up. There we go. What are we going to find in here? Oh, perfect. Okay, okay. Remember when we were in the morgue and I was like, I feel like we have not seen the autopsy report, at least specifically for Vivian. But it looks like we have the autopsy report now for Andrew. 3rd-degree burns, gosh. Can't even imagine. So 44-year-old white male with burns found at home, pronounced dead at the scene. 3rd-degree burns found across body, completely charred over the head. Face, neck, and hands heavily charred across the front and back of the body, legs, and feet. Closer inspection reveals punctured lungs with an object similar to a switchblade or a small knife. Okay, so you know that his lungs were punctured by something that was potentially a knife, but you're gonna say that his cause of death was 3rd-degree burns. Hemiothorax is a possible cause of death, but body is too burnt to confirm. Okay, so he clearly got, like, murdered, and then someone burned his house down to not get caught. And I'm kind of wondering if it was Dr. Johnson. Maybe they thought Andrew was a liability. He was starting to talk. And Vivian found out that I think Andrew, they had talked. So maybe Dr. Johnson took Andrew out, and then, I don't know, Dr. Johnson either committed suicide or he was also killed. Okay, here we go. So a 61-year-old white male pulled out of the car submerged in lake. Oh, you know what, guys? I just had an interesting thought. What if the butler helped Vivian? What if Vivian had somehow disclosed all of this to the butler, and the butler took out Andrew and Henry? Or on the opposite side, because we know the butler's house, I think, got broken into. There was a missing knife and maybe a missing gun. There was a couple of things missing. And what if Henry broke into the butler's home, got a knife to kill Andrew with, and then the butler takes out Henry? Oh gosh, my head's going to a bunch of crazy places. Let's just keep reading. But that's kind of where my head's going. I feel like maybe somehow the butler, Bernard, is in on this. So, 61-year-old white male pulled out of car submerged in lake. Victim's lungs do not contain water, which shows that he did not die of drowning. Okay, yep, so someone got rid of the body. Due to the prolonged submerging in the body in water, the estimated time of death might not be accurate. Estimated time of death is between 12 to 16 days. Ugh. Top right side of the skull, leaning towards the front and above the right eye, had a wide crack, usually caused by a sharp object and strong force. Okay, yep, so he got hit. Front torso, face, and back portion of forearm suffered numerous lacerations. Victim most likely succumbed to blood loss before being placed in water. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it had to have been Bernard, right? I don't think Vivian could have done that. Okay, here we go. So, a 55-year-old white female found lying in the front of mansion gates, pronounced dead at the scene. 12-centimeter wide and 7-centimeter wide deep crack found on the right side of the head. Impact caused by strong force with a sharp object. 12-centimeter wide and 7-centimeter deep, geez, crack found on the right side of the head. Impact caused by strong force with a sharp object. So it almost feels like her and Dr. Roberts got killed the same way. Lacerations on front torso and back sides of both forearms. Victim died from loss of blood. Here we go. I was actually trying to figure out when everyone died too. So Andrew died first on June 9th. And then Henry Johnson, well, his autopsy happened on the 14th, but they think he could have died maybe early July, late June. And then she was found on July 21st. Interesting. So these are crucial. Yeah, and it feels like Andrew got killed in a different way than Henry did and Vivian did. Okay. So what else do we have here? Ooh. So there was a code that matched a dartboard. I think it was for the study room in the mansion. I think talked about the dartboard. So subtract the yellow dart's points from the red dart's points, or total. Okay, so I'm gonna take a photo of this because we might go back to the mansion and see if that code works too. Okay, that's a good find. And then we have one more thing in here. Oh, interesting. So the code for Charles' safe in the gallery is Vincent's birthday. Oh, how could I not have thought about that? Okay. Dang, we're getting so much info. Okay, so the gallery's safe is Vincent's birthday, aka Scott's birthday. So we're gonna have to go back into our notes and find his birthday. I'm thinking either Father Matthew's diaries or the daughter. I'm blanking on her name right now. It might be in her diary as well, celebrating his birthday. So call Sheriff James, check his file. Okay, so I think this is the code then for the filing cabinet. Awesome, okay. Is there anything else in here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so that was a good find. Okay. And I think that was it for the hotel. We might look around the back just to see if there was any notes from Matthew, Father Matthew, to Sophia. But I might shift gears here and real quickly head back down to the sheriff's office down here. Now that we have this code and see what's in there. So let's go. All right, let's go back through here. There's our little car. Gosh, we haven't been back here either forever. Basically, I think the first episode, right? Okay, so his filing cabinet was over here. Let's check this out. So we're assuming that it is 774-1. Perfect. Classified. Okay. So May 13th, 1997, to Sheriff Howard, the crack in Vivian Roberts' skull shows that the weapon used is an object with a heavy and sharp end. Something like an axe would fit the description. Oh, you know what? So I think it was an axe that was taken from Bernard's house. And it felt like it was broken into, which would imply that maybe Bernard didn't do it. Because why would he, break into something that he has access to? Axe. Okay. To cause a crack that big, the attacker must be rather strong. I'm assuming it's either a man or a strong woman who is experienced in the use of the weapon. The victim must have been facing the attacker because of the lacerations found on the front of her torso, as well as the backside of both forearms, showing that she tried to block the attacks by folding up her arms. The fatal strike landed on the right side of the victim's head, just above her right eyebrow. This clarifies the following: 1, that the victim was facing the killer; 2, that the killer is strong enough to land such a clean but deadly blow; and 3, that the killer is left-handed. Oh. Wasn't there a note somewhere around, Bernard writing? And I think it called out that he was either left-handed or right-handed. We'll have to go check that out. But I remember that. I remember thinking, why are they telling us that detail? But it's probably important, right? So we'll have to go check that note too. So since the murder weapon was never recovered and confirmed, my assumption of it being an axe still remains. Since this is me doing you a solid, do not, under any circumstances, leak this information, or I'll be in big trouble. The guys here in Grand City don't want anyone more than necessary to know about these details. Hope the above information helps. Sean M. Smith. Okay, wow. So hold on here. Let's go back to my assignment. So who killed Vivian Roberts? What was the motive? What was the murder weapon? So I think we have the murder weapon, an axe, and a front page photograph for your story to be published. I wonder what that's going to be. So I don't think we can take a photo of this, right? Oh yeah, we can. Okay, let's take a photo of this. Perfect. Okay. Okay, dang. So we don't know who killed her or the motive, so we're still trying to figure that out, but I feel like we can pretty confidently say now that it was the axe, or it was an axe that killed her. Somehow Bernard's connected to it, because he had the axe in his house. Bernard had the axe in his house, so that's where I think the murder weapon came from. What we don't know is if Bernard took it, or if someone broke into his house and grabbed it. So I think we're actually going to head over to Bernard's house now, and I will meet you guys over there. Alright guys, we are getting over to Bernard's house at 31 Silver Lake Boulevard, I believe. Right here. Okay, so I feel like that panel was up in his office. think before we go in there, though, let's see if this key works. Oh god. Okay, so he does have he does have a separate key for his bedroom, which is weird. And it is very dark in here, but we might get some of Bernard's secrets. So let's close this. Okay, it looks like we have a diary here, so this should be interesting. Day 1, the hospital gave me these pills. They are supposed to help depression. Day 2, I feel a slight dizziness. It might be the food that I ate this morning. Day 3, the dizziness comes and goes. I'm still able to work, not a big problem. And day 5, it's my day off today. I didn't take the medication, but the evening I started thinking about Vivian. Or by the evening, I started thinking about Vivian. Day 8, I had to drive Vivian again, so I took double the dosage. I had a migraine for the rest of the day. At least I didn't have to think about her. Day 11, couldn't Vivian stop seeing that guy? Why can't I stop thinking about it? So I wonder if he was just a little delusional and he noticed that she was hanging out with Andrew and Dr. Johnson a lot and was jealous. Day 12, now I know that my dizziness comes from those pills. And day 20, the pills, they don't seem to work anymore. It doesn't matter if I take them or not. I can't stop imagining what Vivian and that guy are doing whenever they meet. Okay. Uh-oh, so he's off his medication. Day 32, I stopped taking the medication. Okay, so yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not good. Uh-oh. Okay. Can we take a photo of this? Okay, so he would have had motive. Jealousy. So January 12, 1995. I drove Vivian today since Derek is out of town with Charles. As I was driving, we talked. She expressed that, despite having a successful business, she felt empty and tired. Trisha hates Vivian for trying to stop her from seeing Scott. She seems to be really bothered by the name Vincent, and her relationship with Charles seems to be just for show. I wish I could comfort her. She's going through so much right now. If only I could confess to Vivian how much I respect. Oh, that's wrong. If only I could confess to Vivian how much respect I have for her, how much I admire her. January 18, 1995. Ever since Trisha brought up the name Vincent, Vivian has been pretty quiet. Even during dinner, she hardly spoke. I can barely remember the last time Vivian appeared happy. I don't think anyone can blame her. Wanda hasn't been coming to work for a while now. Her illness is getting worse. I wonder how she's coping. So February 5th, 1995, Derek wasn't available to drive Vivian again, so I offered to help. It's been a month since I first drove for her. She's been opening up more to me, telling me about the struggles she's faced with, her rocky relationship with Charles, how she really dislikes Scott. Sometimes I would give her some suggestions when she asks what she should do. Other times, she just wants someone to listen to her. Mostly, I'm just happy to be with her. February 22, 1995. Vivian seems rather distraught recently. During the afternoon tea gathering, I stood outside the room and tried to listen to the conversations. She feels miserable being with Charles. They hardly look at each other, let alone speak. Personally, I don't think Charles deserves her. I finished reading Vivian's biography. Half the facts were incorrect. The writer should have done his homework better. March 17, 1995. Sometimes when I'm driving for Vivian, she asks me to drop her off at the corner of a street, typically in front of Tom's Cafe. She's always telling me that she'll make it back home on her own. It aroused my curiosity, so after dropping her off today, I parked the car and watched her. She ordered a cup of coffee to go. She then left the cafe and walked up the street for about 5 minutes to a residential area. She stopped in front of an apartment and pressed the doorbell. Shortly after, a man in his early 30s wearing a suit opened the door. He leaned over and hugged Vivian. She gave the copy to him and they exchanged some words. I couldn't hear what they said. Then they entered the apartment together. Who is he? Okay, so that's the guy that she's talking about, but it sounds like he doesn't recognize this person, so maybe it isn't Andrew or Dr. Johnson. Maybe. It still could be, I guess. So May 12, 1995, this is the 6th time I followed Vivian. After she went into the building with the guy, I parked the car nearby to wait for her to come out. Is this considered stalking? About 2 hours later, a cab stopped out in front of the apartment. Shortly afterwards, Vivian came outside, and the man followed closely behind. They chatted for a bit. Vivian looked extremely comfortable with him. Before leaving, she kissed him on the cheek. What's going on? May 29, 1995. I tracked down the guy. He works at a bank. The place they met is his apartment. How could she do that? Who the hell is he? I reported sick for the 3rd consecutive day. As I laid in bed, I kept thinking on why Vivian would be seeing another man. No matter what Charles did to her, she has kept her faith in him throughout the years. How could she be having an affair now? She's better than that. She's supposed to choose me. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, so is there anything else in this guy's creepy room? These are open. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. Okay, let's go see what is under this bloodied panel. Oh. Okay. Let's take a photo of that before we touch anything. So this tells me though that maybe he killed Andrew. I'm not sure why. But this does not match up with how Vivian or Dr. Henry, how they were killed. So let's see. A serrated blade, there's dried blood stains on it. Okay. That's it? I can't do anything else? Okay. Yeah, there's something here. We haven't figured that out yet. Oh gosh. Okay, guys, I don't know if I was just kind of playing around with the I saw the dart here and I actually did the math on the dartboard photo that we saw earlier, which ended up being, so the score for red was 146 and the score for yellow was 9. And so it said subtract basically the yellow points from the red total, which was 137. So I was like, well, that doesn't quite add up to, or, you know, not a 4-digit code. But then I was like, okay, well, let's put 0 in front of that. And my notes originally said I thought the code was maybe for the mansion, but apparently I was like, I'm just gonna check it here just in case. And yeah, we got it. So let's see what we have here. So he was hiding this, so there should be some good stuff in here. So July 21st, 1995. When the police reported that Vivian was murdered, I was floored. I still don't know what to do. My mind is blank. All I can think is, how did it happen? How can Vivian be dead? And then we have July 29, 1995. So everyone's mourning about Vivian's death. People are coming or calling in to express their condolences. Charles hasn't been out of his room for days, and Trisha's crying her heart out. Dorothy has been assigning busy work to all of the mansion employees, hoping that it would take their minds off of Vivian's death. Samuel, our security guard, has been reviewing all of the tapes of the past 2 weeks for any suspicious activities. I wish I could be of any help. July 27, 1995. Scott was just apprehended for the murder of Vivian. Is that true? No one would have thought of that. I could never ever believe that Scott would be capable of killing someone, let alone Vivian. Yet it makes me so mad. I feel so confused. September 29, 1995. Trisha was admitted to the hospital today. She had a nervous breakdown after finding out that Scott could be her mother's killer. Her condition has been getting worse over the past few weeks, and no one has been able to properly help her. Charles finally decided to seek help from the hospital. October 27, 1995. Matthew never believed that his son killed Vivian. He hired some fancy lawyer to defend him. Scott's been released on bail today. He's beyond ridiculous. Or it's beyond ridiculous. I don't think Scott should have been released at all despite the insufficient evidence. He killed Vivian. I know that he's guilty. Everyone knows it. They should have gone ahead and prosecuted him. Interesting. So what changed from that, July 27, to October? Huh. So November 1st, 1995, the maids were cleaning the mansion when they found some stuff belonging to Vivian, a key, and some stationery. I asked Charles what he'd like to do with them, but he told me to take care of it myself. I brought them back to my place. Ooh. And finally, November 4, 1995, Vivian's death has caused lots of grief to everyone, especially Charles. After hearing how heartbroken Charles was 2 nights ago, I can't bear to see him suffer anymore. Scott should pay for what he did. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. So did Bernard kill Scott? That would be a plot twist, huh? Oops, let's open that. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? We just have a key? Looks like a desk key. So he said he brought him back here. So... Okay. Yeah, I was assuming it was probably going to show up in here, but just kidding. Let's just crouch down real quick. Okay, it doesn't look like there are any locks on here. Okay, dang. Ah, okay. That is helpful. So that's the picture that we saw. Got it. Okay. Looks like a desk key found in Bernard's house next to his diary. And we still haven't found those items that he grabbed that were Vivian's. There was nothing in here, right? A knife is missing from the case, so we know where that's at. And then, yeah, here we go. The axe display cabinet has been shattered. I'm gonna take a photo of that. And a photo of this. I don't know if we need to be doing that, but we're do it. Okay, I'm not sure where this desk key, I'm not sure where that would go. Unless it opens up one of these. No, it doesn't look like it. No. Okay. Might be a desk in the mansion. Okay. Okay, I think we're good here. Okay, guys, so before we end the episode, I'm just gonna run over to the church real quick and check if the number on Sophia's locket would open up Father Matthew's desk. And then I think we're gonna call it quits here. We discovered a lot, and I think there's a lot more that we're gonna be able to do now. So for the next episode, I should say. Yeah, it was just this guy. So let's double check this real quick. So her locket had 0, 5, 2, and 6 on it. Dang, okay. Alright, it's not that. Alright, guys. Well, we're gonna leave it here. This was a long episode, but with a lot of goodies. We figured out a lot of things. And I can't wait to jump back in just to kind of continue investigating, because I feel like I now have more notes that I need to dig through and figure out what we need to go check out next time. So I really hope you guys are enjoying this series. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.